Welcome back, everybody, to the Sick Podcast Recruits Draftcast. I think there's a theme going on here with the 2022 draft because we have 26th pick overall, Filip Mesar, joining us in just a few moments. Obviously, we had other 2022 draft picks, Owen Beck and Lane Hudson, join us previously. If you haven't seen those yet, I invite you to go check them out after you finish this one because you're not going to want to miss this. We got lots to talk about. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about Kitchener. We're going to talk about World Juniors. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Habs and everything in between. So let's get to it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Recruits Draftcast.
And with the first overall selection in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League, Connor Bedard.
The sickest NHL draft and scouting podcast. It's gonna be sick.
As always, I'm your host, producer Shayne, joined by the fantastic Grant McCagg. How we feeling today?
Hey, glad we got the superlatives back out there. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I'm pumped, ready to roll. Another Habs prospect.
There we go. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hype around this one. So let's bring him in. We welcome to the show, Mr. Filip Mesar. How we doing, buddy?
Doing good. Hi, guys. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Great
right
to
on,
have
man.
you.
Right on. Well, yeah, really glad to have you. I think, you've been featured on the show a few times already. I'm sure a few more times as our Habs prospect of the week. We try to give a little love to our Habs prospect, and you've certainly had some pretty good weeks. Now, I think we have to start with the draft, right? This was, the 2022 draft was a historic draft for Slovakia, having 3 first-round picks, the first 2, right? And yourself, you completed that trio, and you guys were friends growing up. It's just such a great story, but I want to start with this video that you've probably seen a bunch of times, but I think it's worth bringing up again. And it's the Slaf's reaction to you being picked. Let's have a look.
Who do we want?
Montreal. Yes. No way. Yes. Filip Mesar, the other Slovak guy.
Is that your friend? Is that your friend?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
That is such a good video. Had you seen that one before? I'm sure you have, right?
Yeah, I saw it a couple times. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. But now I want to flip it again, like for you. Now, from your perspective, when you heard your name called, did you make that connection? Like, oh, like I'm gonna get to play with my friend here. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty special at first. Like, I didn't even notice that like Slav went first overall to the same team. I was like just shocked. I didn't expect Montreal that can draft me in a first round. So yeah, it was pretty special, and that we both get drafted in the same team. That's really nice, and hopefully we can make it there together. He's already there, so I'm just trying to make it happen. Yeah.
I don't think you got to worry about that. That's going to come pretty soon. But you mentioned you were surprised that you were drafted in the first round. Did you have different expectations? Like what were you hearing before the draft?
Yeah, like my expectations were like late first round or beginning of the second round. So I was like, I didn't really know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I'm glad that I was drafted in the first round. It's probably better to get drafted. It's like a bigger like ceremony and all of that stuff around that. So yeah, it was pretty special for me.
Yeah,
you should have had a copy of Recruits Draft Guide because we had you 24th. So
pretty accurate. Pretty accurate there. But before the draft, right at the combine, and we've heard stories about those interviews with the Habs, the weird questions, the animals, and all that. Like we had Owen earlier, and he said he was a wolf. And he explained it was a great answer. But were you asked the animal question? Like what answer did you give them?
Yeah, I got the same question, and I said lion.
Okay.
I explained it because he's the king of the animals and like a leader. So I just said that I want to be leader everywhere on the ice and off the ice as well. So that's why I said lion. Yeah.
Fantastic. I would have drafted you too. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. So, like after the draft, now you guys are in Montreal. You get drafted by Montreal. You're with your buddies. How do you guys celebrate? Did you go out to a restaurant? Like, what was the scene like afterwards?
Yeah, we were just like super excited. We waited to the next day because a couple of guys went drafted the next day, some Slovak
That's
guys.
true.
And
Yeah.
after that day, we went out to the bars a little bit, but people there were crazy, like wanted the signature from us, like recognize us everywhere, especially Slav. So it wasn't easy. We couldn't like drink or anything. We were just like having fun and yeah, just spend the night with my boys from Slovakia. It was nice.
Love it. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So now, you've been playing in Kitchener for the past 2 years. Great success this year. And Grant, I know you've got a lot of questions about Kitchener, so I'll let you take the floor here.
Yeah. Great to finally talk to you, Filip. Obviously, the big news last week was Kitchener adding Shayne to the lineup. You must have faced him a bunch of times in those 5 Nation and 4 Nation Cup tournament, U18 tournaments and U20s. What was your reaction when you heard that Shayne be joining Kitchener?
I was really excited of that because I know Saleh. We know each other pretty well. We played against each other a couple times, and yeah, I think he's really skilled forward, and he can fit in our team really good. Like yesterday was the first game we played together. It wasn't our best game, but I think it will take a little bit of time, and then we can get some chemistry going with the Ray Cup as well. So I think it will work.
Well, that's 3 very talented players. You make a request to have 2 pucks on the ice when you guys are out there, or what? Like, who's gonna, that's a crazy trio that you got.
Yeah,
Now, who's gonna
I know.
who's gonna be getting the puck? Who's gonna be mucking the pucks out of the corner with you 3?
Yeah, actually, we were talking about that. I told the guys that we have to play hard as well, like to the boards and like hitting guys and that stuff, because we can't just wait for a puck or something, because we all 3 of us are skilled players, so we just can't play like a skill hockey, like fancy hockey, So we were talking about that, and hopefully we'll be better than that first game, and I think we'll be good, yeah. And if not, then we'll make some changes, but that's a good addition to our team, I think.
Well, Swick seemed to adapt okay to going onto the second line there. He scored 2 goals last night there. So he, I mean, you had a 6'6" guy to get the puck right on your line, and now you don't. So you think you're going to have to maybe do a little more boards
Yeah,
work
I think
now?
so. I think all 3 of us have to play more physicality, more do boards, and yeah, just if we can do that, I think we'll get some chances, and with our skill, I think we'll score a couple goals as well.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
A couple.
hopefully,
more than a
hopefully
couple,
not.
I think is fair to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you Kitchener made the unusual move of bringing a European coach in to a Canadian junior team. It hasn't happened too often. It's safe to say that it's worked. I mean, Brustowicz, Andonovsky, Swick, Rakoff, and most importantly, you have all made major strides this year. You're all playing, great hockey. I mean, that's just a few examples, but what are your thoughts on UC Ahokas and Krizakos, the coaches the main coaches there for you guys? What style is he employing, and what's he been doing to improve the team?
Oh, I really like UC as a coach and as a person as well. Like all 3 of the coaches, of the new coaches are really nice. Like on the ice and off the ice as well. They're talking a lot with us. We have a lot of video meetings with them, and yeah, they're really good in person as well. And yeah, I heard that the UC coached Finnish under-20 team, I think, like 3 or 4 years at
Yeah.
World Juniors. So yeah, he's a really good coach. His style in this league is more offensive, because I was talking to Slav before I got here, because he had Slav in TPS Turku before, and Slav told me that he's more strict on a defense, like more defensive style. So I was like, okay, like we'll see how it's gonna be. But the first thing when I got here, I asked him about that, and he said that this league is totally different than the Finnish pro league. So yeah, he wants
Right.
to play offensive. He wants to play fast hockey, and I really like it.
Was he Slash coach in JYP or?
He was his coach for 2 years, I think, in Finland.
Oh, is that right? Eh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. There you go. And so yeah. So you tell Slaf that it wasn't that he was defensive. It was just that Slaf wasn't getting enough points, or what?
I don't know. I think in general, Finnish league is more like defensive hockey.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
The ice is bigger, and you have to play good defense there. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
said, yeah. So
Well,
I was a little bit worrying, like what's it gonna be here? But it's good. I like it.
Well, yeah, it's funny. It's one of the things when in Slaf's draft year, everybody pointing saying, well, he didn't have that many points, but that's the style. Like in the playoffs, he was really good that year, and he actually was 7th on the team in scoring. It didn't look like he had a lot of points, but such low scoring games that he was actually one of the better forwards on the team. So people that don't know the league didn't take that into account when he was picked.
Yeah, like when I used to play in Slovakia, the European hockey, I would say it's totally different. Like the ice is bigger, and like top players there don't have that many points like here in Canadian league. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a difference. I think I would say the most difference probably the ice, because it's like a lot bigger, and the
Yeah.
teams are like more physical and like play more defense, I would say. Yeah.
Less time to react and all that.
Yeah.
It's got to be an adjustment. But this year, I mean, like Grant mentioned, I think the coaching change, among other things, proved beneficial because you guys are in first place. Like 29, 11, and 2. Like that's not too bad. So what would you say kind of made this team gel so well? Like why are you guys, the chemistry is so good right now?
Yeah, the Kitchener wasn't even supposed to be that good this year. So yeah, I would say the coaches are really good, so that helps a lot. And also like the chemistry, like between players on the ice and off the ice, like we're really good friends. We have close group. We spend a lot of time off the ice together. So I think it's really good, and I'm really enjoying this season. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the NHL teams make a mistake and not picking Rakoff in the first round, or what?
I don't know. I would say so. Like he's a pretty special player. Like he's amazing. Like his shot is amazing, and if he's gonna keep going playing like that, I think he'll be in NHL soon. But like I said, we just don't have to play fancy hockey. We have to start playing more like physicality and more to the boards. And if me and him and Sally can do that better, we're gonna be unstoppable, I would say.
Oh yeah. I have a friend that watches all your games. He's a coach in Kitchener, and I asked him if he had any questions to ask you, and he was wondering. He said that you're getting a lot more cross ice passes through the slot on the power play this year. Last year you attempted it a lot, and it didn't always work. Seems like this year it's clicking. Do you know what's allowed you to do that?
I don't know. I have probably more confidence this year. I feel way better this year on the ice than last year. I think that first year was like a little bit adapting year for me, and
Yeah, for sure.
I think like also when coaches changed, it helped me a lot. Like I really like Yusi's style of playing, and like I said, on a power play last year, after I got back from World Juniors, I was net front, so I was just like, I would say, standing there waiting for a puck, without the puck, So it was pretty tough. But yeah, this year I have a lot of like freedom on a power play, and I can do whatever I want, and I think that's what I can do best. Yeah.
Utilize your speed a little more.
Yeah. I would say
What
so.
would you say are your main attributes as a hockey player?
I would say playmaking at first, for sure. Then I think I'm pretty fast player like speed and Also, I would say my shot got better from last year as well. So I think, yeah, I would say speed, playmaking, and shot is pretty good as well. I just have to work a little bit on physicality still, and probably playing in a defensive zone. But yeah, it got better from last year for sure.
Oh, yeah, big time. What's been the biggest adjustment to playing North American rinks? Do you find you notice like not as much width, obviously, so you find that you have to make decisions a little quicker.
Yeah, I would say so because the ice is smaller here. Like it's also maybe a little bit faster. Everything happens fast, and yeah, it's a lot of physicality. I would say the Canadians players are more like into a game, like yelling at each other every time and like trying to start some shit or something. So I really like that. I really like that mentality, and I would say that's the biggest difference than
Yeah.
European hockey. Yeah.
You get into the trash talk too. You got some good quirks in there.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, and I really like
Okay.
it.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. I like that.
What culturally, what's been the biggest adjustment for you coming to North America?
I think just the lifestyle in general, it's a big difference because it's a lot bigger. You have more options here for everything,
Mm.
and yeah, but I would say I like it here better than in Slovakia. I would like
Okay.
to live here one day, so I really like it here.
What about the food? Did you find a difference, much of a difference in the cuisine when you moved
Yeah,
here?
I would say I miss our food pretty much, like especially our traditional food from Slovakia. Because like here in Canada, like I have amazing billets. They cook really well, but sometimes when we go out, I just have nothing to eat, like just fast foods or something. But
Mm.
I don't really like that. So after like then I'm trying to find some Italian restaurants or something like that. I really like Italian food, but I really miss our traditional food from Slovakia.
Actually, we got I did a question and answer with Slav there, and we got a couple of. And I asked him what his favorite home cooked meal was, and he said potato salad with mayonnaise, pan fried steaks. I can definitely cook the steaks, but the rest would probably not taste so good for me when I cook them. Do you? What's your favorite home cooked meal?
My favorite home cooked meal is Slovak traditional food. It's called halušky, and
Okay.
it's like a special cheese. Like it's like a little dumplings, I would say, with like special cheese and bacon on it,
Oh,
and it's really good. I don't know if you guys would like it because it's like tastes a little bit different, but it's really good. I would say.
Sounds great.
bacon and cheese. I'm
Yeah,
in.
sounds
Trust me.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
I'll just bring that back up again for a second, Juliana, if you don't mind. And then I said, "Does Meshar like the same meals as you? Who's doing most of the cooking?" This is when you guys were living together in Montreal. He kind of intimated that he was the cook of the two of you. Would that be true? Otherwise, you go hungry. He said.
Yeah, that's actually true. He cooked for me a lot. I usually just did the dishes after we were done eating. But yeah, I would say he's probably better in cooking because he spent a couple of years by himself in Finland.
Right, right.
So yeah, he took care of himself. So yeah, he cooked for me, and I'm glad that I had some food to eat.
Now
Oh,
you're
that's
from
awesome.
Viska Bella.
Yeah,
Now that's a town of about 6,000, I guess.
yeah,
I was looking on the map. You're kind of pretty rural area, right?
it is. Yeah,
So you're a small town boy like me.
yeah. It's
I'm
just, like you said, it's just like 7,000 people.
okay.
So yeah,
I grew up in a town of 8,000, so I mean I can relate, you know. So
yeah.
everybody knows everyone pretty much. Was there what, I'm sure you like your family still lives there, do they?
Yeah, yeah, they do.
So when you went back home, I guess a few people kind of you must have had a nice homecoming when you after the draft.
Oh yeah, like every time I go home, it's pretty special. Like I wouldn't say just in my hometown, but like whole Slovakia. Like after that draft, like me,
Yeah.
Slafkosvky, and Nemec, like they recognize us everywhere. So I would say it's pretty crazy in Slovakia when we get there. But like
Yeah.
I
bet.
wouldn't say I don't like it, but sometimes it's just too much. You know, sometimes you want to have your privacy, but I like it.
Right.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
used to it.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw a video of Slav going back to high school, and his grad picture is him at the draft, right, with the Habs jersey on. Was it the same for you? Is that your grad picture?
Yeah, but I didn't go to school after season because we still had
Oh,
a
okay, okay.
playoffs year. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god! Like he went to school. Like the kids there and like students there had to be crazy. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Oh
see him
yeah.
there.
That's something you show your kids. You're like, look who I went to school with. Like, look at this guy.
Yeah,
That's pretty insane. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
You
He's probably making more money than every teacher there. So it's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
He's doing exams there.
Um I asked Slav if he had any nicknames, and he said like he had a pile of them, like Slav, obviously, Big Baby, and Dino. Now,
Yeah.
did you know about those three? Well, the
I
other two, Big Baby and Dino.
I didn't know about Big Baby, but I do know about Dino. That nickname came out with when we were just like little kids, like about 10, 12 years old, because he was already like really tall, like 6'1" maybe.
Okay,
So yeah, we were like 12 and he was like 6'1", so it was crazy. So we called him
so
like Dino. It's from like dinosaur.
dinosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, that nickname was from there.
that's
And
a good
what
name.
what's your nickname?
My nickname is just like Mash. Mash is
Mess.
good. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a guy that played in the NHL, nicknamed Mess. That wasn't too
Not too
bad.
bad. Yeah,
Mark
Yeah,
Messier.
I know what you're talking about.
not too
Yeah.
bad.
So I don't know if you might have to get permission when you get to the NHL to use that nickname.
Yeah, hopefully I can get it. If not, that's okay.
Yeah, I know. There's a Marc Andre Fleury. They call him Flower,
Oh
and I
yeah.
mean every Habs fan considers Flower. That's Guy Lafleur, right? So, so I
Yeah,
mean, if he could get away with it, then I'm sure
yeah.
Mark won't be too miffed that they
Oh
call
yeah.
you Matt too.
You'll be good.
Yeah.
You'll be good. Curious about the if you could talk about the process or the discussions you had maybe about your route after the draft. Are you going back to Europe? Are you going to the OHL? Like, can you talk about those decisions? Who made the decision? Like, how long did it take or whatnot?
Yeah, I talked a lot about that with Ken Hughes,
Mm-hmm.
recently, and Jeff. And yeah, we had a couple meetings about that, and they said that they want to send me to OHL to like do my style of play, like create like plays, like score a couple goals, make points, because they see me as a player like that, as like a skilled player, like playmaker and that stuff. So I was like, yeah, like why not? Like I trust you guys, and you guys know what you guys doing. So yeah, that was their decision, and I just accepted.
I think it's worked out perfectly
Yeah,
so far.
I
So
think
yeah,
I
the
think so.
decision was
yeah,
correct. And I mean, the next year is another story. But for now, you're in a position where you're going to go in the playoffs and you're going to get some great experience there. You're playing on a strong team. So yeah, I think it's worked out pretty good. Eh?
Yeah, I think so. I
well,
think for my opinion, yeah, like this year, this second year is pretty good, and
yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it going and stay consistent.
Well, we talked to Lane Hudson a couple weeks ago, and he and Beck, and they both mentioned how much better you were at the World Juniors this year. So, it was even somewhere outside of the OHL that also showed just how much your game has improved at this level. Did you had more confidence? I mean, it's never easy the first go around at the World Juniors, but you were pretty confident at this year's tournament.
Yeah, I would say I had the most confident in this tournament from all World Juniors because it was my last year, so I
Right.
wanted to do everything to be the best and be the best for the team as well. So yeah, I think I had pretty good tournament. We had a really good group of guys there. I think we played pretty good. Just a little tough end for us, but that's hockey, and yeah, I think that tournament was pretty good, and it was fun to play there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you lost 2 heartbreaker quarterfinals in a row, right? Overtime, both times. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
could have gone either way, right? But I mean, when you sit back and look at it now, I mean that Finnish game was an all-time classic. That was a great game, and I mean there were a couple of memorable moments. I think we have a clip here of what's the deal here? Like you took the face off. I take it you've done that play before?
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember that play was like, yeah, there like 2 seconds or something like that, and the goalie
When
even came. Yeah, the
when
goalie
we
even
were
came.
watching it, the clock ran out, so we thought it was out, and I'm sure. I mean, we've got the clip here; it keeps going, and it shows. I mean,
yeah, the referee said it was like 0.2 seconds, and the puck was like on a goal line, so that was pretty close. Yeah, but it was special. I remember the goalie even went to tell the guy on a face-off that I'm gonna play it like forward, for like towards him.
Right.
Yeah, and like I was thinking about that, but I'm glad it worked out and we scored from that. Yeah.
Oh well, that got you right back in the game. I mean, they were ahead 1-0, right, and that tied it up, and you guys took over the game for a while, and then they took the lead, but then we've got another highlight here. The last 40 seconds came to you, and bingo.
Yeah,
that was a pretty nice moment, eh?
Yeah, I really like that Sally. It was pretty.
Yeah, the whole bench. That's so good.
Yeah, there was a good screen from that guy. He just like skate towards the goalie, and like right after he moved, I just shoot it. So I think goalie didn't expect that shot. So yeah, it was good.
And the highlight goes on a little further, but it did deflect off the defenseman's last. I mean, at first I thought, wow, you just snapped her perfectly in the top corner, but there is one highlight there that shows that it just deflected ever so slightly off the defenseman's shin pad.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah, it could. Yeah. I don't really remember. I was like, so many
this one shows it here. Look. Oh no! It might even have been a stick.
It was his. I think it was goalie's glove, like under his hand. So it just.
Yeah. No, that was labeled. That was a great shot, and just described. I mean, have you scored a bigger goal or?
No, this was probably the biggest goal I ever scored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's too bad that you couldn't finish it off, and
it is. Yeah.
You know,
I didn't even touch the puck in overtime.
Yeah. And then in the year before, Bedard with that goal, right?
The heartbreaker.
Did you think maybe, hey, this guy might be pretty good end up being a pretty good hockey player?
Yeah, I would say he's pretty good hockey player, and these guys like him, Crosby, McDavid, and those guys like are pretty special players. Like it's not every year a player like that, so it's a generation player, and he's something else for sure.
So when did you first meet Slav? Do you remember playing hockey together?
Yeah, we played against each other because we're from east of Slovakia, both, and it's like a biggest rivalry on east of Slovakia.
Okay.
The town is Košice.
Yeah.
And I played for Poprad, and it's like 2 biggest teams in east of Slovakia. So it was always like a biggest rivalry there. So we used to play against each other.
Okay. So it started out as a rivalry then, and
it started there, and then we started going on like tournaments as a Slovakia select or something like that. So we met each other there, and we started to be really good friends since we were kids. Yeah.
Wow.
Good hockey players. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Not
And
too shabby.
what was your first impression of Slav?
Like he was always the biggest boy on the ice, like the tallest, the strongest. He had really good shot when he was younger, and yeah, I always know that he's gonna be a really good hockey player because I would say he's like heavy on his stick, like pretty strong on a puck, and his shot was really good on that age, and he was just really good year by year, and he used to always play with 2 years older guys, so yeah, he was a really good player.
Yeah, he's got a habit of playing one hand on the stick, and he checks, like he pokes the puck away, and he gets that long reach, and he gets it in there, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has he ever, like you played it with him with some other coaches and stuff? Have they ever tried to and said no, don't? Because there's some media guys that talk about, well, he's got to keep two hands on the stick, but he's so strong with one hand on the stick that he gets the puck away anyways, right?
yeah. I don't know. I didn't hear anything like that from some coaches or something, but
Yeah.
when he used to play in Finland, I think they might tell him something there, like told him something, because like I said, that style of playing there is more defensively. So I would
Right.
say that's why he's holding the stick in one hand, like I would say most of the time. But yeah, I think his game grow up for sure, and he's playing pretty good the last couple of games. I really like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you follow Twitter, social media at all? A little bit?
A little bit sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you noticed that when he was struggling at the start of the year, it was like trending? Slav was trending just about every day on the
Oh
Twitter.
yeah. I saw it, but yeah, it's never easy for a kid. But I would say his personality and that he left home in like 14, that helped a lot, I would say. And he's like mentally really strong, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's never easy, but he can handle it.
I
We're
think
seeing
it's
it now. Yeah.
one of the reasons why they picked him, because they knew there would be so much pressure on the guy being the first overall pick in Montreal, and I think it was one of the reasons that that they decided to pick Slav first, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and I think it was the right choice for sure. He's gonna be a really good player in a few years, and I think
Oh yeah,
he's doing that right now. Like last couple of games, I usually watch every game of Montreal if I can, and I think he's doing really good right now. And I'm glad that
yeah,
he's playing like more ice time and with really good players. So that's good for him.
yeah, yeah. The now obviously last night was a special night with Nemec.
Mm.
And I guess his dad came and they had a dinner the night before and all that. It's too bad that you had a game, or I don't know if you would have maybe gone down too and had dinner with
Yeah.
them too. But did you after your game, did you get to see that game or highlights of it, or?
I watched highlights from that game. Both got points, so yeah,
Yeah,
Slav
yeah,
scored and Nemec got an assist. I also
yeah.
saw the defensive play Nemec made from that 2-on-1 when Josh scored. I laughed at it. Yeah, it was pretty bad play, but yeah, it's still young, still learning. But yeah, I'm glad that they had points both, and yeah, it was a
Yeah,
good game.
yeah, for sure. No, yeah, that's right. And then Slav said something after the game about, yeah, well, I scored and he was on the ice, so that was good. Like
Yeah,
he took a little
yeah,
dig out of
Slav.
there, right?
Yeah, I like that personality of Slav. He always
Yeah,
likes joking around and that stuff, so it's good.
Mm.
he's always been. He likes to joke around, eh?
Yeah, he likes it.
And you guys, you guys had a great line. Dvorsky, you and Slav in the Helenka a few years back. That must have
Sheesh.
been fun playing with those two guys.
Oh yeah, it was probably my favorite tournament in my career. So yeah, we finished second. We lost on Russia in the finals,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was pretty special. I would say like we had the best what we can have, what we could have there, like the best team Slovakia ever have, I think. And Yeah,
Yeah.
we played pretty good there. It was fun.
It's too bad the videos are so poor on that tournament. I've tried to get highlights and stuff, but it really wasn't very good video. I mean, I could barely make out who was. I mean, I could tell Slav because he's the guy that's
The biggest
this
guy.
much taller, right? But
Yeah.
just talk a little bit about Dvorsky. I mean, I had him ranked third overall for the draft, and honestly, I thought he'd go higher than he did because I just think he's going to be a terrific NHL player. What are your thoughts on Dalibor?
Yeah, I think he's a really good player. He's so strong on a puck. Also, if when we had practices or something like that, he was really strong on a puck. Like it was hard to get a puck out of him. And he's also like he has a really good shot, really good hockey sense. So I think if he's gonna keep going, he's gonna be a really good hockey player. I would say he needs to improve his skating a little bit. I would say, but I don't think he needs it like that much with his like hockey sense and like shot and that thing that he's really strong on a puck. It would help him.
Wow, that's like exactly what all the NHL scouts say. I don't know if you got any extra time, but you want to do some scouting for recruits?
I would like so, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I'll get you. I'll send you a text later. No, I mean that's great. Slav was saying growing up, obviously Marian Hossa is from same town or whatever, and he grew up a fan of Hossa in Chicago. What about you? What was your favorite team and player growing up?
Growing up, my favorite player was Sidney Crosby, and favorite team was Pittsburgh.
Okay,
Yeah,
heard of him.
But
Yeah,
now it changed, and my favorite team is Montreal for sure. And my favorite player is Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah. That's a good man. Honestly, he's my pick for the Hart this year. He's playing out of his mind, but I think we were Sidney Crosby fans. I have a framed poster in my gym. Like, I grew up a Habs fan, but you gotta love Sid. So I completely respect that answer. Have you talked with Slaf maybe a bit about playing Sid? Like, he's played him before, right? They've
I
played
think
against each other. Did you ask him like what it was like to play him?
No, I didn't. We didn't talk about that, but I will ask him for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get the chance to play against him at some point too, so that's
Hopefully,
gonna be pretty fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started playing like U16 hockey in Poprad when you were like 13.
Mhm.
Now it's only about 25 minutes from your home, so I guess you basically you lived at home right up until the draft, unlike Slav, right?
Yeah.
And you had a cousin that's a pretty good hockey player too?
Sorry, who?
You have a cousin that I just noticed he played some U20 as well, and you guys played together on Poprad, right?
Yeah, he's a year older than me.
Yeah.
But now he's still playing in Poprad there with the men's now. Yeah, he's a D-man. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he got to play, I noticed a few games for your U20 team, so that you got to be a pretty good hockey player to play at that level, right?
Yeah.
I never got called up to the Canada's U20 team, so
That's okay.
Well, yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't know what they were blind, but hey.
I think so.
Well, yeah. I'm like you, 5'9", stocky. Well, I don't know. Are you 5'10" or 5'9"? 5'9.5"?
Me?
Yeah. Be honest.
I'm 5'10". Yeah.
You are 5'10"? Okay.
Yeah, I can attest to that because Philip, we have met before, and you probably don't remember this, but we met at the home opener 2022 against Toronto at the game there, and we took a picture together. And I'm 5'10", and we were the same exact height, so I can confirm.
Yeah,
he's 5'10".
Okay.
Thank you. Finally, somewhere
I got you.
Myself at like 5'9", somewhere 5'10", but finally somebody said that. Thank you.
Don't worry.
Hopefully, I can grow.
And what's your weight?
My weight is 180 right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Fair to say that you don't probably have to put too much more muscle on your lower body.
Tree trunks.
You ever? That's crazy. You ever stand beside Marty St. Louis and compare your thighs? Because he's got
Oh yeah.
thunder thighs like that too.
Oh yeah. He has probably the biggest thighs I ever seen. Like we were talking about that with Slav as well. Like that's actually crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the three of you there, the three oak trees there, together. It's crazy. All
Yeah.
yous, but I don't think you need to put on any more muscle in your lower body. What do you want to play 180? Do you think you need to put on any more weight, or are you happy with your weight now? You think you can play pro at 180?
I think I'm pretty happy with my weight now. 180, 182 at most, I would say. But 180 is pretty good for me. I'm not the biggest guy, but just don't want to be light as well. And yeah, I think if I want to have a speed and that stuff, or like be shifty, I wouldn't go much higher. Just like 180, 181, 180 most. Yeah.
You definitely don't need to put any more weight on it on your lower body. That's for sure. That's
good to go.
That's crazy. And do you think you can make the Canadiens next year? Is that the goal?
Hopefully, Hopefully, yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna be a hard camp for me. Like for everybody, it's pretty tough every year. But I'll fight for it, and hopefully, I can make it as soon as possible. Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome.
There's been such an improvement in the last year. I wouldn't put it past you. Now, Joshua, I guess you played with Josh in the development camp, and he scored his first goal last night. It was that was a nice moment, eh?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we're really good friends. Like every time we're there at the training camp, like the young prospects, we're really good friends between each other. But it's still like competitive, and I like that. I like competition and that stuff between each other.
Yeah.
But off the ice, we are really good friends, and yeah, that's good for him that he scored. He's having a really good season in AHL as well. He's a really good player, so yeah, I'm glad he scored his first goal yesterday.
Yeah, just as long as he doesn't score like 20, because you got to beat him out next year for a spot. Maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
There's enough spots for everybody, Grant. They can play together. They can play together.
Yeah, for sure. It's your preferred. I mean, you played a lot of center growing up, right? And you can play either. Have the Canadiens indicated to you that they see you being a winger at the NHL level? Have they had any input into you playing on the wing in Kitchener, or has that just been completely their decision?
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to play center like most of my career, but last 2 years in Slovak hockey, like pro hockey, like with Mans, I played winger, and since then I'm playing winger. So I kind of can play both. I think I'm pretty good on a draws as well, on a faceoffs, and yeah, on a training camp before season. I played like one game on a center, one game on a winger. Like they were trying to figure it out, but I would say I don't mind playing both. But I would say in a pro hockey, I feel a little bit better on a winger because I think I'm faster. I'm like smaller, and I don't have that much responsibility in a D zone. If I'm like center, I have to play more defensively as well. But I would say I like winger more in a pro hockey.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to have to check Sidney Crosby if you're playing on the wing, right?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I could see Montreal. 2 seconds left in the period, down a goal. Guess who's going to be taking the faceoffs?
Let's pull that play again.
Okay.
It's worked before.
2 seconds left in the ozone, or
well, yeah. Unless you got a heck of a move that we don't know about where you can score from your own zone in 2 seconds. Win the draw and score in your own zone 2 seconds. That'd be really impressive. You've never done that trick before, have you?
I'll try.
Maybe need 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
But what kind of a face-off percentage you usually win, like 50-60% of your draws when you're?
Yeah, I would say 50-60 usually.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not like crazy, like 80 or something. Just like, yeah, like that 50-60.
how many draws have you taken in the past couple of years with Kitchener? Do you take the odd one? Is there an offensive defensive zone where you're strongest on the
I
draws?
usually take a face-offs on the right side on my backhand.
Okay.
I'm righty, and it's in both zones. Like it's in an offensive zone and a defensive zone as well. Sometimes, yeah. Usually, I
Well,
take face-offs there.
I mean, the Canadians are good, situational. I'm sure there'll be times when you at the NHL level, when you do make it, and you will make it, you'll be taking some draws, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You got anything else there, Shayne? Or?
Well, one last thing, right? When we had Owen Beck on, he mentioned something that surprised me, and that he's regularly in contact with Paul Byron, who's sending him clips and all that. Is that the case for you as well?
Yeah, he just sent me a clip yesterday of my like from my shift, and he usually does that like once in 2 weeks, once a week.
Yeah.
And he just watching like our shifts, I would say, and just like send me a clip of my game and what should I do better on the ice and what I'm doing good. Like just a little details, but it helps a lot, I would say, and he's doing a really good job.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I guess you get Rammer, Rob Ramage comes into town and gets to see you the odd time too, eh?
Oh yeah. He came a couple times. Last year he came like 4 or 5 times probably, and this year was like 2 or 3 times. So yeah, I'm still in touch with these guys, and it's pretty good. Yeah.
Rammer takes you out for dinner.
Yeah. Free
Yeah,
dinner.
eh? Yeah.
That's always good.
For sure. Well, listen, we really appreciate having you on, and it's great to finally meet you. And we'll have to say hi the next time we're in Montreal, and you're playing for the Habs in a year or two.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. No problem.
Okay.
All right. Take care, Philip. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you guys. You too. Bye.
Awesome. That is Filip Mesar. Great guy. Fantastic personality. And I mentioned I've met him before. Quick story about that, actually. He was just talking with a random group of people on the side, and I spotted him, but I didn't want to approach him. I didn't want to bother him. But some girls, I think there's a couple of girls that went up to him and asked for a picture. And in an instant, he got swarmed. I mean, there was a bunch of people that just saw, like, oh my God, it's Mesar. Like, let's go. Let's take a picture. So obviously, I snuck in there. I took a picture as well. But he stood there. He didn't have to, right? This was not a planned event. He was not supposed to stand there and take pictures. He did that out of the kindness of his heart, right? People just wanted to see him, and he stood there and he was nice to everybody. He talked with everyone. So great character, great personality, and very professional as well. That is all the makings of an NHL player. We said it to him. We'll say it again. He's going to be one. I think Grant and I, we can agree on that one. But yeah, that's a very impressive person right there. Habs fans are going to love him. I think that's a lock for sure. Eh?
Yeah, no, he's the progress that he's made in the last year, I have no doubt. I did start to have a few doubts at the end of, last year he struggled a bit at times, and you wondered if he'd be able to make the adaptation to the North American game a bit, but because he's not the biggest guy, right? And all that, but he's his game has improved by leaps and bounds this year, and he's easily one of the best players in the OHL, and was one of the best players at the World Juniors. He's got the skating. He's got he may not be tall, but he's sturdy, as you saw by that photo, and great edge work, great shot, and a superb playmaker. So I think he's got second line upside. I wouldn't be surprised if he, they took him in the second round or in the first round. with that expectation. You draft somebody in the first round, you think that their upside is top 6. So
Exactly.
he's and that's what he's looking like now, is a second line winger at the NHL level, and he might be battling Joshua for that down the road. We'll see. I mean, second line, you figure Doc's going to be on the second line down the road. And if they keep that first line together, Beck's in the mix, Meshar's in the mix, even Oliver Kapanen there. So it's exciting times for Canadians fans that enjoy watching the prospects and seeing how they develop, because I think the future is really bright with the young talent, and Filip's part of that.
No doubt about that. No, he's going to be a part of the Habs, hopefully for a long time, but he's definitely going to be an NHL player. Again, I'd be willing to put money on it. He's got everything. He really does. He's got everything to succeed. So we wish him all the best this year to finish off with Kitchener. They're going to be making the playoffs and probably going pretty far. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, and he'll likely be featured on the show some more as well. If he keeps having some insane weeks like he's had already, he's going to be our Habs prospect of the week many times. I'm sure about that. So again, we extend a big thank you to Filip for taking the time. It means a lot to us and to our listeners, right? They get to learn more about him. We see the player on the ice, but the person off the ice is also just as important. So I think this was really, really insightful. Another great interview, man. We are just rolling, and we're not done. We are not done. We're not slowing down at all. So do yourself a favor, obviously, click subscribe. That's how you can keep up to date with all of our guests, all of our shows that we're doing. We're pumping out some pretty serious content here. So we really appreciate your support. As always, go check out recruits.ca. Everything you need about the draft, prospects, Habs, all of it is on there. Great stuff by Rocco and Grant there. And Grant, I'll let you send us off here. Yeah, no, I well said. And I really look forward to getting some more Habs prospects on there. I'm going to have to get on the internet there and get a hold of a few more people. And I think we can get some more lined up, because the first 3 have been great. Like, they're all great kids, and there's some more great ones, in the system. The Canadiens have made a habit of drafting with character being a key ingredient of that. And I think we saw that with all 3 guys that we've had on in the last couple of weeks. And it just bodes well for the future. That's right. That's how you build culture, right? And that's what they've been telling us. That's what the front office has been pushing, right? It's a winning and healthy culture. So I'm really excited. I think Habs fans should be too. But that'll be it for us today. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you very soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, Recruits Draftcast on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.